Welcome to the 2026 Rocket and Raygun Awards.
We are here in Vancouver, British Columbia, Canada at the Capital City Retro Arcade. We love this place.
What an incredible year for games, Vic. But we're actually in New Westminster right now, which was the first capital city of British Columbia, which was formed in 1858.
Holy crap, I'm being fact-checked in real life like a freaking YouTube comment.
Listen, Vic, the YouTube comments are savage and you're about to find out.
Okay.
Welcome to the Rocket and Rayguns.
The 2026 Rocket and Raygun Awards are presented by PNP Games. We're going to have a great time with this show. It's fantastic to be here with you, Bear. I hope you are ready to get into the best of the best of 2025.
What a good year for games. I feel like this year ignited another layer of love for the video game industry for me. I loved some of the titles. And more importantly, I'm excited to hear what you have to say and what the viewer polls have to say.
All right, well, let's get into our first award. Here are the nominees for 2025's Best Remake or Remaster. Metal Gear Solid Delta Snake Eater from Konami. Final Fantasy Tactics The Ivalice Chronicles from Square Enix. Xenoblade Chronicles X Definitive Edition from Nintendo. The Elder Scrolls 4 Oblivion Remastered from Bethesda. Super Mario Galaxy 1+2 from Nintendo.
We're kicking it off with a very important one for the game industry. Remakes and remasters are vital, and we had some incredible ones this year.
Absolutely vital, and Nintendo knows that probably better than anybody. They had Super Mario Galaxy 1 and 2, which were delightful to revisit, absolutely wonderful on Nintendo Switch and Switch 2, and also Xenoblade Chronicles X, finally on Switch, completing the Xenoblade Chronicles collection.
Yeah.
Such a beautiful game. Great job on both of those titles.
I want to give a huge shout out to The Elder Scrolls Oblivion finally coming back. It was first released in 2006. This was a shadow drop by the team at Bethesda, and it was so incredible to see a lot of Elder Scrolls fans just kind of revisit and love this game. Speaking of love, my favorite game of all time, Metal Gear Solid 3, was re-released as Delta and Konami. Kudos to the team over there. What a faithful remaster, and this game made me cry all over again.
Oh, it's an incredible game. Honestly, all of these games, this was a really, really tough category. In the polls, it actually was pretty split up, but you guys voted for Metal Gear Solid Delta as the best remaster or remake of 2025. But we did not. For the Rocket and Raygun Awards, we're giving it to Final Fantasy Tactics, The Ivalice Chronicles. This is a stupendous, marvelous experience that was made with so much love. You get the original game in there if you want, but the new art and especially the voice acting and all that music being remastered and redone.
It's incredible how well it has aged over the years.
Yes.
You know, not only being released on PS1, but then the PSP version, War of Lions, and now the
Game Boy Advance.
Game Boy Advance. The Ivalice Chronicles was just the ultimate package.
And it sucks you right in. It's an incredible game.
Final Fantasy Tactics, one of the greatest Final Fantasy games of all time.
Big time. Tough category there, but we're moving on to probably an even tougher one. Here are the nominees for Best Licensed Game of 2025. Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3+4 from Activision. Terminator 2D No Fate from Reef Entertainment. Deadpool VR from Oculus Studios. Marvel Cosmic Invasion from .emu. Alien Rogue Incursion Evolved Edition from Survios.
Maybe not that tough, but you know what? It was tough for me. I loved Cosmic Invasion.
So good.
Absolutely like that team at .mu. They just know what they're doing, and it's one of those titles I can't stop playing. I've got every single achievement, and I'm still going back and playing it.
It's incredible. There's so much depth, so much detail in that. Love Deadpool VR, but Terminator 2D No Fate was this unbelievable surprise in 2025. It is so gorgeous, so wonderful to play, and Bitmap Bureau did an amazing job.
And I think the viewer polls agreed too, with over 42% of you agreeing that Terminator 2D No Fate takes it for this one.
Congratulations to Bitmap Bureau. All right, let's move on to our next award. Here are the nominees for Best Fighting Game. Capcom Fighting Collection 2 from Capcom. Fatal Fury City of the Wolves from SNK. Mortal Kombat Legacy Collection from Digital Eclipse and Atari.
This is my favorite category, Vic. I love fighting games, but this was a bit of an interesting year because we've got two collections versus a new entry, which kudos to the team at SNK. So good. I love the Mortal Kombat collection, but I feel like it was the documentaries and the extra features that really made that title special.
And those are wonderful, and they're worth the pickup for that collection just for that. Capcom Fighting Collection is so much fun. This is the second one, and it's incredible. We got to review that together and talk about it
so much.
It's an amazing game, an amazing collection of games. And in the polls, you guys all voted for Capcom Fighting Collection 2, which kind of makes sense because there's so many great fighting games in that collection.
I mean, Capcom, legendary creators of fighting games. I think the viewers agree that they have some of the best in the history of fighting games.
And all the SNK stuff that's in there.
Exactly. It's so good. But speaking of SNK, I think we have to give the Rocket Raygun to City of Wolves. Kudos to SNK. I feel like they really got it right with this game.
It's so beautiful. It's got such an awesome SNK art style and
the
animation, the cell shaded. I think they're taking a little bit of a page from Street Fighter 6 and that kind of vibe.
Hey, they got Ken and Chun-Li as DLC right now.
Which is wonderful. But it also carves out its own kind of place, you know? It's fun to get into the story modes for all the characters. Love Fatal Fury City of the Wolves. Incredible game. Congratulations, SNK.
All right, one thing we love to do in the Rocket and Ray Guns is include our incredible viewers and friends from the industry, and this time we want to pose them a question.
That's right, we want to ask you guys, what was the best experience you had playing video games in 2025?
I'll spare you the Unk story time about why The Elder Scrolls IV Oblivion is such an important game to me personally, but suffice to say, I was pretty hyped when Bethesda decided to shadow drop that remaster this year. And let me tell you, this is one of the most dreamlike experiences I've ever had. They have replicated Oblivion of my memory down to some of the bugs and physics quirkiness. This thing was making me smile every 5 minutes. They made a lot of improvements in the areas you would hope or expect while leaving some of the raw UI and inventory just intact, so you do get that pure experience. Easily one of the best remasters I have personally played. It's excellent. If you worked on this game, it made my year.
Me and Vic checked out a couple of games throughout the course of the year, such as Painkiller, Lego Voyagers, and of course in June on launch day for the Nintendo Switch 2, we hung out and played Mario Kart World for nearly 4 hours with other members of the Electric Playground community. Some of the best social gaming experiences I've had of the last decade.
The experience that Double Fine brought us with Keeper, the unlikely duo of a lighthouse and a bird. Look, we even come up with this, bro. Like, that's just beauty. It's art, it's magic. That's exactly what this game is. No dialogue, just you immersed in this world of wonder. That sounded very Disney, but it's not.
Watching my kid play Donkey Kong Bonanza. Now, the way he would play the game is just to dig holes and just rampage around a level. It was endless hours of fun, and at first I was going to tell him, kid, you're playing the game wrong. Then I realized there's no rules to having fun. Fun is fun. It was better than the Mario movie because we were living in the movie, and well, I can't wait for the sequel. Hopefully it comes out before he graduates university.
Split Fiction, I think, deserves all the wins. That game brought back couch co-ops. I thought couch co-ops were gonna be dead. I never thought they'd come back as a thing, but Split Fiction managed to do that. That's why this game is so special. I mean, they're making a movie about it. It's got everything from the incredible storytelling, world building, the characters are great, the puzzles are amazing, they're all unique, they're all super fun. And my friend Kelsey and I just set up a bunch of play dates in 1 week. We finished the game in 1 week and just had hangout sessions at my house, and it was the most fun I'd had in a long time.
Donkey Kong Bonanza. It had a moment near the end of the game. I'm not going to spoil it, but there's a big reveal. If you are a longtime fan of the Donkey Kong Country franchise or Donkey Kong in general, it is such a cool moment, and it made me audibly react in a room by myself, out loud, just say, like, whoa! And it was such a cool moment, and it was a great way to cap off an otherwise amazing game that was one of my favorite video games of 2025.
The best experience I had playing video games last year was that first run I had in Arc Raiders. I'm not the biggest fan of extraction shooters, so I was a little bit weary jumping into Arc Raiders for the very first time, but I quickly found out how much fun it is to get into a raid, whether it's solo or with friends, and just have a genuinely great time.
My best experience with playing video games in 2025 are the remakes, remasters. It's been so much fun to either revisit games I haven't played in a long time, or to play games for the very first time, games that are hundreds or thousands of dollars physically for the original copy. It's just been such a nostalgic trip to play these games that I missed out on as a kid. Yeah, just my best experience with games in 2025, definitely these remakes, remasters.
One that really sticks out to me is playing Elden Ring Night Rain with Andy Cortez and Snow Mike, and finding secrets, finding some of those shifted lands that they have in the game that morph the world. And I think the moment-to-moment of realizing that there's something new on the horizon that we haven't seen before, exploring a new version of the Elden Ring Night Rain map, really kept us excited, and discovering the secrets that were hidden in the levels was really something that had us falling in love with the experience, right? It was something that felt new and fresh and exciting.
The best gaming experience I had in 2025 was unboxing my Nintendo Switch 2 console and playing Mario Kart World for the very first time. So much fun. I thought it was great how Nintendo went open world. It offers players new ways to socialize with their friends and compete against other racers. Mario Kart World also has the biggest roster of characters to date, including Piantas from Super Mario Sunshine, and I'm excited to see who they add down the road, like maybe Baby Waluigi, because that will make me very happy.
My most memorable game of 2025 has to be Hades 2. I started playing it in early access. I put over 300 hours into the game. It's a masterpiece in every way. The acting, the music, the narrative, the writing, everything about it. The art is beautiful, the gameplay is beautiful, it has so many different unique ways to play the game, and the weapons and the aspects are all super, super cool, and it nailed it. It handles love and relationships and all this sort of weird, complex intermingling between gods in a way that really is relatable, but also is just super, super mythic and just phenomenal. I can't recommend it enough. It's my most memorable game of 2025.
Going back to the classics, Half-Life Opposing Force, Full Spectrum Warrior, Brothers in Arms, the old Halo games. These were the games I loved because you felt like you were part of a bigger battle. You had guys on your squad. It made it impactful, and those games were really fun. Big AAA first-person shooter and squad-based games are my favorite. Please bring them back.
The best experience that I had in 2025 playing a game was with my queen, you know what I'm saying? Red Infamy. We played Split Fiction. That game does things that you've never seen before, like in video games. And I don't want to spoil it, but I'm telling you, Split Fiction, that experience with my baby, yo, that joint, it was too much fun. I loved it.
Wow, that was incredible. Thank you for sending us your vids. The Rocket Rayguns will be right back.
Yeah, well, the way I see it, we're gonna need those multi-taps either way, so. Okay, you know how you can listen to music using the internet? The bit rates make it sound like trash, but yeah, sure. What if you could transfer video game files via the internet, save them locally, and call it Video Game Passport? Sega already did it. Sega Channel in '94. You connect a coaxial cable to your console, you download game demos and cheat codes, all through your cable provider. Well, yeah, but it's gone now, right? Exactly! We are on the brink of a digital future. Someday, all you might require to play video games is a paid monthly subscription and an internet connection. You might not even own your video games at all. Talk about convenience, though, right? Well, with those of us with shelves to fill, shop PNPGamesOnline.com, your source for everything video games. Enjoy free shipping on orders of $65 Canadian or more within Canada or the USA. Your stash is looking mighty thick, by the way. Guess we're out of a job. Don't you mean extinct?
Welcome back to the Rocket Raygun Awards. It is time for a heavyweight category.
Big time. Let's go. Here are the nominees for Best RPG of 2025. Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 from Deep Silver. Octopath Traveler 0 from Square Enix. Claire Obscure Expedition 33 from Kepler Interactive. The Outer Worlds 2 from Xbox Game Studios. Xenoblade Chronicles X Definitive Edition from Nintendo.
The very first appearance of Claire Obscure Expedition 33. This was the game everyone was talking about
Probably
this year.
not going to be the last.
Yeah.
Probably not. And this was a very, very big category. Absolutely best role-playing game. But it's kind of an irrefutable victory for Claire Obscure Expedition 33. Almost 62% of you in the polls agreed with that.
Yeah.
And it's really hard to refute that.
Well-deserved. Incredible title.
Yes.
I think this is a game that's going to be talked about decades from now.
Oh, yeah.
And
it's a statement game. It changed a lot of perspective. It's a beautiful experience. Congratulations to Sandfall and Claire Obscure Expedition 33. Best RPG from 2025 in the Rocket Raygun Awards.
Bonjour, mes amis. Well, it's time to move on and check out our next category.
Here are the nominees for Best Action Game of 2025. Battlefield 6 from Electronic Arts. Ninja Gaiden Ragebound from .emu. Hades 2 from Supergiant Games. Ninja Gaiden 4 from Koei Tecmo. Shinobi Art of Vengeance from Sega. Oh man, this was a very tough category to get into. I personally freaking adored Ninja Gaiden Ragebound.
So good.
Such a killer game. And it was amazing also to watch the resurgence of Battlefield. Battlefield 6 was immediately accessible, so ridiculously fun, impossible to put the controller down and walk away from that killer game.
That was return to form for the Battlefield franchise. It's been 7 years since we had the last campaign.
Yep.
Even though this wasn't the strongest campaign, the team at Motive, Criterion, DICE, they are so talented. This was one of the best multiplayer experiences of the year.
Yep.
And it really makes me think like how good this team is, and we need a Battlefront 3 from these guys.
We do.
ASAP.
We really do. It was also a huge year for Shinobi, so 2D action was amazing in 2025.
Kudos to the team at Lizard Cube for this. What a slick game, hand-drawn, so smooth. I really think this is one of the greatest Shinobi games in the entire franchise.
I think it's the best.
You're the best.
I think it is the best.
Okay.
I mean, it's hard to refute the originals that set it all up, but this is just so polished and refined and so hypnotic.
2D fans, we're so spoiled.
We were eating very well, and Hades 2 qualifies in that too, which is an amazing action experience. It's your pick in the polls, as a matter of fact. You guys all voted for Hades 2, but you know what? We are going to dissent again, and it's Ninja Gaiden 4 from Platinum Games and Team Ninja pairing up. Are you kidding me?
We just knew this was going to be
Oh
a
my
hot
God.
title this year. The moment that we saw Platinum Games was working with Team Ninja to revive the franchise,
It's so
we knew it was going to be good, and it delivered.
It's so fun. It's so violent. It's ridiculous. There's blood everywhere. But oh my God, every time I play this game, every time I sit down and just, get into a boss fight or something, I just adore what they put together here. It is so cool. Love Ninja Gaiden 4. Congratulations to everybody involved.
Next up, we have another massive category.
Here are the nominees for Best Action Adventure Game of 2025. Terminator 2D No Fate from Reef Entertainment. Donkey Kong Bonanza from Nintendo. Split Fiction from Electronic Arts. Hollow Knight Silksong from Team Cherry. Death Stranding 2 on the Beach from Sony Interactive Entertainment. Oh man, this is an enormous category.
Yeah.
There are just bangers across the board here. I want to talk a bit about Donkey Kong Bonanza, which was just so ridiculously fun. I thought it was insane. When I first got hands-on at that Switch 2 experience, I was like, what is happening? He's just destroying everything. What even is reality if you can break all reality? But it's so fun and so ingeniously designed. I absolutely adored that game. And then, of course, you guys know how much I love Terminator 2D No Fate. That game is like a love letter, and I've realized that as I play it, like whenever I want to watch the movie, I can just go play this beautiful game.
Yeah,
it's
like
so good.
Yeah. You know what? And it was a December release too, so I know a lot of you haven't got the chance to check it out.
Yeah.
But this is one you can't miss.
You can't miss.
Another title, Hollow Knight. Silksong finally came out. First announced in 2019.
I don't think many people missed that one.
No, that was incredible masterclass from Team Cherry.
Yes.
I mean, this is a game that really rewards you for going through different paths and really teaches you like a fighting game that spacing is everything.
Yeah.
This is a game that's going to challenge you, but it's also one that you're going to come out loving. But my favorite game this year, Death Stranding 2, Vic. This is a behemoth. We always use that word. This is a 50, 60-hour experience or more.
Yeah.
And this is a game that
So
really shocked me.
refined.
It's so refined.
Yes.
You know, I'm a big Kojima fan.
Yep.
I had some gripes with the first game. I enjoyed it.
Yep.
But the second game just really brought it to life.
And they doubled down on the fiction, and they just sort of fleshed it all out. It's even more beautiful. It's such a great accomplishment. And in the polls, you guys decided that Donkey Kong Bonanza should win this category, but it's really split up. Like the choices in every direction.
It's a tough one.
It is a tough one. And Donkey Kong Bonanza, they're all fantastic games. But our Rocket and Raygun Award winner is going to Split Fiction from Haze Light. This game was just surprise after surprise.
We played this together.
And we played it together.
Yeah.
And I played it with my daughter, and you played it with your fiance. And that's the beautiful thing about this game. It's just so freaking fun to play and share with someone else. And you look at each other and you go, do you believe what we just did?
This is a game that reminds you why we love video games so much. You know, this is a title that you can always go back to, and you'll always remember those memories. And what a treat. We kind of started off the year with this, coming out in March. And what a way to start. You know, kudos to Haze Light Studios.
All right, we're going to move on to the winner in our next category. It's for Best Sports Game, and that is for MLB The Show 25. It is an absolutely outstanding game. Now, the thing about just choosing MLB, it depends on the sport that you love. They all deliver something really, really fun, and I just feel like this is a category where you can just decide what do you want to play, what sport do you want to play, and it's awesome. But MLB, I don't know, Sony San Diego never drops the ball, pun intended. They're amazing.
They're very consistent with their titles. One thing you can say about some sports games, there are a few that you can possibly miss. But the MLB games, just as you said, have just been so consistently awesome.
Beautiful.
And if you're a baseball fan, like you...
And I became one because of the Blue Jays. I was watching every freaking game in the World Series. It was amazing.
I'm sorry, by the way.
It broke my heart. And then I was playing some of the games in this game. It's such a great game. Congrats to MLB The Show 25. And in the polls, you guys all agreed, although it was pretty close with NHL.
It was close.
You see what I mean, though? Like, if you like a sport, you're going to go towards
you're going to vote for that one, right? All right, we got another viewer question to ask you guys. This time, it is the most overlooked game of 2025.
Absalom. This game is developed by Guard Crush Games, the studio known for making one of the greatest beat-em-ups of all time, Streets of Rage 4. It's a multiplayer roguelike, combo-heavy beat-em-up, most similar to Guardian Heroes on the Sega Saturn. The music, unique art, animation, and feel of the game are all amazing, and I don't know why it's not the talk of the town like how another popular roguelike game, Hades, is.
Urban Myth Dissolution Center. If you like a visual novel sorts, if you like detective, mystery, murder, if you like the occult and ghosts and spirits and a little bit of a creep factor, then this game is for you.
For me, that one's easy. Lost Records, Bloom and Rage. As a big Life is Strange fan, this melding of nostalgia and mystery and supernatural elements was everything that I loved about Life is Strange and never really expected to be recaptured again. I went into this game being like, I expected it'll be fun, but to walk away feeling that same special feeling towards the cast and the world and the mystery that I walked away from Life is Strange with was unexpected and was so welcome, and it stuck with me.
South of midnight, That game was spectacular. It knocked my socks off. Yes, the combat wasn't the highlight of the show, but everything else really shined for me. Visual style, art design, music, voice acting, characters, the story, the location, the lore, everything else was absolutely fantastic. If you haven't played South of Midnight, go play it right now.
Chronos: The New Dawn. It's made by the same guys who made Silent Hill 2 Remake. It's a mixture of Dead Space with Resident Evil a little bit, but it's much more than that at the same time. The atmosphere and the visuals are so damn good. The combat is also a little bit difficult. It's not just about preserving ammo, but you have to be a little bit more strategic about how you fight the enemies. And the storyline is also pretty good. The performance is amazing, and the world itself is so interesting and so unique, and the horror elements of it is so fun.
Lego Party. It kills me when I look on the Steam charts and it's only got 100 people playing it. It is better than some of the more recent Mario parties. Not that they were bad, they're great. But Lego Party tells a story while you're playing it. The boards are great, the commentators are great. It's just so much fun with friends. Lego Party is the one that a lot of people are sleeping on that they need to try out.
Yooka-Replay-Ly. This is a remastered version of Yooka-Laylee, which came out in 2017, and I'm actually shocked that not a lot of people have been talking about this game because it's so much fun. Overhauled graphics and animations, revised controls, and the original composers, Grant Kirkhope and David Wise, actually came back and redid the entire soundtrack. It's so much fun.
Luminous Arise is one of the best games that I played this year. Not that many people have been talking about it. When you play this game from start to finish, it's just an experience. It's something that I've never felt before. I think the closest thing is probably Tetris Effect Connected. That's, same studio that worked on it. Go right now and get this game. Support indie games, indie studios.
My most overlooked game of 2025 is actually a game that I'm in. It's called Banshee. Banshee was released earlier in the year on itch.io and on Steam, and it's a narrative walking simulator. Nothing unlike a Gone Home or a Firewatch. It was developed by a very small developer, CLB Games, and you're walking through a cemetery, you're looking at the gravestones of your past ancestors, learning about your history and your family, and it's a game that deals with loss. It's about family. It was a real honor to lend my voice to Gene Thompson for the game. I really hope that you guys check it out because small developers are the glue that really holds the video game industry together.
Fast Fusion came out around the Switch 2's launch in June. Didn't hear much about it after that. If you're a fan of any racing game, it's up there with even the racing sims. It's more of like a hover type game if you're an F-Zero or a Wipeout fan. It's as good as those. I liked it more than Mario Kart World, in fact, and best of all, it's a fraction of the price.
Tales of the Shire. That game came out and there were some critiques. I played it and I actually loved it. There's things I'm sure they could add to make it that much better, but making a game that's like Animal Crossing but set in the Lord of the Rings universe, you get to experience life as a hobbit. I think they got all the right things in there. They came out at a time when I really needed just a cozy, low stakes, chill gaming experience, and this game was all that.
Mortal Kombat Legacy Collection from the good folks over at Digital Eclipse. Mortal Kombat Legacy Collection is more than just classic fighting games. It's a time capsule to an era of gaming that we have long since moved on from. Even if you don't like the games or you don't play the arcade games, watch all the behind the scenes commentary. Absolutely amazing content. You're doing yourself a great disservice if you don't take a look at it.
Excellent contributions, you guys. Thank you so much for those videos. Now stick around. We've got a lot more awards to get to for EP's Rocket and Raygun Awards presented by PNP Games. We'll be back after this.
Oh, hey, I'm Lee from PNP Games, and welcome to Don't Blow It, a dating advice segment where I'm also going to show you how to clean your cartridge video games. Viewer Daniel writes in to ask, is it true that blowing into your game cartridges can cause long-term damage? Also, should I ask out my best friend, knowing that if she doesn't reciprocate my feelings, it could ruin the relationship? Thank you, Daniel. Somebody got a word of the day calendar for Christmas. Your video game cartridges require proper time and TLC, just like any relationship does. And while it's true blowing into your carts can lead to short-term gains, it can also lead to long-term erosion. The same erosion you're worried about in regards to asking out your friend. Here's what you do. Oh, geez, sorry, dude. I didn't know anybody was still in here. No, it's okay. I'm used to it by now. Hey, sick games, man. You sell them someplace? Shop PMPGamesOnline.com. Join the XP loyalty program and enjoy free shipping on all your favorite games on orders of $65 Canadian or more. Play forever. All right, dude. Good luck with your seance or whatever. Thanks.
Welcome back to the Rocket Raygun Awards. This time we are talking about the winner for the best strategy game of 2025. Congratulations to Square Enix for Final Fantasy Tactics: The Ivalice Chronicles.
Incredible game, absolutely resounding success in this category. All of you in the poll, I think it was like 63%.
Yeah, it was a huge part of the pie chart.
It's all blue.
Yeah.
All Final Fantasy Tactics. But it makes sense. This game is phenomenal. And honestly, even if you don't like turn-based tactics games, this is the one to start with, kind of. It's like it's the OG, and it kind of helped to define the category. And there are lots of great competitors out there, but you really don't want to skip this one. Final Fantasy Tactics is incredible.
Absolutely incredible, Vic. I can't agree more, but it is time to talk about a brand new category for the Rocket and Raygun.
Here are the nominees for Best Roguelike of 2025. Hades 2 from Supergiant Games. Ball Pit from Devolver Digital. Absolem from .emu. Blue Prince from Raw Fury. The Rogue Prince of Persia from Ubisoft. Now, this category actually may end up staying here because it's such a huge part of the games industry. It's a massive genre filled with lots of clever and fantastic games. I'm talking about things like Absolem, or Absolum, which fuses a brawler and a roguelike together, and it's made by Guard Crush, who worked with Lizard Cube on Streets of Rage 4, and it has some of that pedigree. It has that sort of combat sort of vibe that you just are addicted to. It's beautiful. And then, of course, all of these great magic powers and abilities. It's such a wonderful game. Don't skip on that one. That's an amazing title. But I also loved Ball Pit, which came out of nowhere. Devolver found this one for us. It's insane.
Devolver just knows what's good.
Yeah, it's kind of like Breakout as a roguelite, and then you get some city building, you know? It's like, and you're resource hunting and everything. So clever and so fun.
Yeah.
And it feels like a classic arcade thing that you can't, which is appropriate. You can't stop playing that damn game.
But this year also showed us that the roguelike category can not only just be about combat with the Blue Prince.
Right.
I feel like this was a puzzle roguelike game, which completely came out of nowhere. If you're into puzzle games like The Witness, Outer Wilds, this is one you can't miss. You're constantly like finding new rooms and trying to reach the 46th room, uncovering mysteries about your uncle. This was a really, really cool title. But one that I loved this year was The Rogue Prince of Persia.
Such a cool game.
This is by Evil Empire that worked on Dead Cells, and this was just such a snappy game. I know it was on early access for a while.
I streamed this and I loved playing it. It was so fun. It felt really, really tight. Beautiful game.
And it made you really think about every form of combat that you engage. Taking one or two hits was incredibly hard in this game. This is a game that's going to test you, make you maybe throw the controller, but it's ultimately so rewarding by the end of it.
Beautiful game, but of course the one that we haven't talked about yet is the winner. It is Hades 2. And so congratulations to Supergiant. They just crushed it on this, and in the polls you guys all agreed. Hades 2 is a phenomenal sequel to a phenomenal original game. Great concept, lots of beautiful boons and visual effects, and so much reward. It's so replayable. It has to be, because it's a roguelike, but it's such an incredible game.
But there's story elements in this game too. There's just so much packed into it. It's a roguelike and then some. And I think the Hades franchise is looking good for you Hades fans.
Big time.
Supergiant has yet to miss.
All right, let's move on to the next award. Here are the nominees for Best Racing Game of 2025. Mario Kart World from Nintendo. Sonic Racing Cross Worlds from Sega. Fast Fusion from Shinin Multimedia. Kirby Air Riders from Nintendo.
This is another great category here. I feel like it's a drag race between two big contenders this year, but we got to talk about one more.
Yeah, well, Kirby Air Riders and Fast Fusion are both really fun racing experiences. Very different. Kirby Air Riders is not a traditional game at all.
But I love it.
It's so cool.
It's so cool. It's chaotic. It's fun. It feels like a GameCube game, but I say that as a compliment.
Oh yeah, no, and it's just loaded with all of these little hooks to compel you to keep playing and playing. It really is a ridiculously enjoyable experience. And Fast Fusion is such a slick game, and it was a great launch game for Nintendo Switch 2. I love the developer. I think Shinin. They just do a really, really good job at harnessing our nostalgia for Wipeout series that we're dearly missing PlayStation.
But F-Zero too, okay?
No, it's anti-gravity racing. It's so damn fun. But it's really about Mario Kart World versus Sonic Racing Cross Worlds. They both have World in the title. And they're both really ambitious in the way that they introduce open environments or portals to new environments. And they're so freaking addictive and so beautifully done. And in the polls, you guys kind of were a little neck and neck between these two.
I can't believe that, the Sonic games have always been great, but this time they've really just nailed it.
In the year of a Mario
In the year of a Mario, they were brave. They knew that, hey, we can compete.
And they're still going. I mean, there's DLC trickling out from Mario Kart World and updates, and there's a lot of DLC announced and more coming for Sonic Racing Crossworld, so they're going to get better, both of them. I personally think that they both should be picked up.
Yeah, it's a flip a coin, right? We can just flip a coin and win this one.
But like you guys in the poll, you eventually determined that it's Mario Kart World that should win this award. We agree. The Rocket Raygun Award winner for 2025 is Mario Kart World from Nintendo.
Bravo, Nintendo. Well deserved.
Absolutely. All right, now it's time for us to move on to our viewers. That's you guys, and also our friends from across the biz. We wanted to hear from you about your pick for Game of the Year for 2025.
A lot of really great games in the year 2025, but ultimately when I think back on that year, I just keep coming back to Death Stranding 2. This game is truly outstanding. It takes everything that Death Stranding 1 did so well, and it really just shows that Hideo Kojima is as good as he ever was. Death Stranding 2 has wonderful music, outstanding visuals, the story that makes absolutely no goddamn sense, but yet is somehow incredibly compelling, and the gameplay, man, I just wanted to do one more run, one more delivery. Kojima's at the top of his game, and he's at the top of my list of games for 2025. Death Stranding 2 on the beach, my favorite game of the year.
It's Luminous Arise. The original Tetris is my all-time favorite game, and Luminous is very close to it. It's up there. The thing I love about Enhance is they make games very different, creating games like Rez, Tetris Effect, and now it's Luminous, right? With Tetris Effect, I feel like they learned a lot, and especially adding amazing music in there, and they made a better game with Luminous Arise. Let me tell you, one of the best. Doesn't matter if you play this in VR or play this on the big screen or on the go. Luminous Arise is a must game.
For my picks for 2025, I'm gonna have to go with Absalom on the Legion Go S. I love this device. I love this game. I grew up in the 90s playing beat 'em ups in the arcades, and I recently found a love for roguelike games, and the combination of the two is just awesome. Playing it on the Legion Go S is great.
My game of the year goes to Ball Pit, or Ball X Pit. Ball Cross Pit? We got to establish what the X means going forward, but regardless, Ball Pit is such an amazingly addictive gameplay loop where you take Arkanoid or Breakout and you basically put it on steroids. You add a bunch of roguelike power-ups that turn the gameplay up to 11 and add all sorts of insanity. You even add some town building to it. It's just a game that's going to keep you entertained for hours upon hours, which it absolutely did for me in 2025. You've got to check out Ball Pit.
It's certainly tempting to make Indiana Jones and the Great Circle on the PS5 my game of the year and call it a day. My actual game of the year for 2025 has to be Death Stranding 2 on the beach. While the first Death Stranding was a unique, oddly charming, and in retrospect eerily prescient title, the sequel, Kojima has not only doubled down on what worked before, including his trademark weirdness, but further refined the original's rougher edges, resulting in a title that is not only more fun to play, but also responsible for some of the most memorable gaming experiences I've had all year.
I'd have to give it to Hollow Knight Silk Song. I think this game is a real testament to the fact that it was made by a couple people, very tight artistic vision. It made me feel like a kid again, but not in a rose-colored glasses, nostalgic sort of way. It really put me back to when I wasn't very good at video games, and every step could lead to catastrophe, but you got to see what's in the next room, and you come across these giant bosses and think, oh, I can't beat this, I'm done here. And then you after like, a few dozen tries, you finally beat it, and it just feels so satisfying. Say nothing of the graphics, they look great. The music really hit me in a way that I still can't define. Why do I feel what I feel when I'm playing this?
My favorite game of 2025, no doubt, was Blueprints. Just the layers and layers of lore and story that you would slowly peel back after each round just had me up late into the night. My child and I, we had an entire notebook full of clues and notes that we would take during the whole thing. It was stunning. Blueprints was amazing.
My 2025 game of the year is Hollow Knight Silksong. I was not expecting to love this game as much as I did. I haven't even finished the original Hollow Knight. Not trying to say that this game is for everyone. It really should have more difficulty and accessibility options, but as a fan of Metroidvanias and more difficult games like Sekiro and my 2024 game of the year, Nine Souls, Silksong really worked for me. This is a game that I spent nearly 100 hours in. I could have probably finished it earlier, but I wanted to soak in everything and really take my time with this game. It's my favorite game of the year and definitely in my top 10 favorite games of all time.
The best game of 2025? This is clearly subjective, but you know, I've always had a thing for The Wolf Among Us. I love the storytelling in those games. I love when you choose your own adventure, and that's exactly what you get to do in Dispatch. It's so nice to have a game like that at this time that brings us back to recommending video games. I feel like I haven't recommended a video game to a casual in a while, and this is one of those games that I can get them in, get the claws into the casuals with a game like Dispatch. It's so clever. I just love the little cutscenes in between. I love how your decisions truly affect the game, sometimes seemingly not at all, but then at the end, like, you have your own unique experience. So it has replayability, it's clever, and it's brought to you by some of the folks that were working on The Wolf Among Us. So you see how it all works out.
I have to say Baby Steps. I know that might be an unorthodox pick for some people, but when I think of 2025, nothing did the marriage of story and gameplay in a unique way better than Baby Steps. It's a literal walking simulator. You know, you have to alternate the triggers and the pressures. Thematically, on a simple level, it's very much, you know, taking life one step at a time. But on a larger level, what I love about that game is it's this really rich examination of masculinity that we don't see in games. And there's a part halfway through the game where something more emotional happens, and it kind of recontextualizes how you see Nate. And so he's a really sympathetic, flawed, but really relatable person, and I think that's what makes Baby Steps such an important and amazing and also just really funny game.
My pick for the best video game of 2025, counter to what I think a lot of people think, which they're going to say Clair Obscur Expedition 33, fantastic game. I'm going to go with Ghost of Yotei. This is Sucker Punch Productions at the top of their game, iterating on all the things that made Ghost of Tsushima such an incredible experience. It's one of my top games of all time. They took so many things to the next level. Their open world design has evolved so much. This story is such a personal tale of revenge. It is everything that I wanted in a sequel, and I can't wait to see what Sucker Punch does next.
I think my best video game 2025 would have to be Mario Kart World because of all of the colorful courses, the characters, the items, and whatnot, and not to mention the setting. That's why I think that Mario Kart World is, for me, the best video game out there in 2025.
What's the best video game of 2025? It's Once Upon a Katamari. I'll hold the candle for this game. It's wholesome, it's robust, you can create your own cousins. It's a pretty standard Katamari experience, non-derogatory. We've added a number of power-ups in the game, such as a magnet, which is very satisfying to use. And they removed the jump. Katamari creator Keita Takahashi, I know, has recently expressed that he wishes he hadn't given up the series. Hopefully there's a path back for him to hopefully produce something or be involved in the future of the series. And he himself released a game in 2025 called To a T, which is a delightful adventure puzzle game. Goodbye.
Thank you for the incredible videos, everyone. We're going to take a very short break, but when we come back, we're going to talk about the best indie game of 2025.
say. It's a... Oh. Alas, poor Dreamcast. I knew him, Sonic. A console of most ultimate gaming and most excellent fancy. And now, how abhorrent it is in my imagination. My gorge rises at it. Here hung your controllers that I blistered my fingers on I know not how oft. Where be your games now, your VMUs, your broadband internet connection, your flashes of merriment that were wont to set a night on a roar? Not one now to mock your game's catalog? Disc tray agape. Play forever.
Welcome back to the Rocket Raygun Awards. We're here at the incredible Capital City Arcade in Westminster, but it's time to get to another award.
Here are our nominees for Best Family-Friendly Game. Mario Kart World from Nintendo. Sonic Racing Cross Worlds from Sega. Donkey Kong Bonanza from Nintendo. Marvel Cosmic Invasion from Dotemu. Split Fiction from Electronic Arts. I love this award because this is really about onboarding people to play with you, right? Like, we're all huge super fans, but it's fun to bring somebody into our world and play games. Nintendo has crushed that every year. They're always in this family-friendly award group here. And Mario Kart World definitely delivered that. You know, my daughter's crushing my wife and I already in Mario Kart, which is, I just have to admit that. Gotta confess it. But it's beautiful, and Donkey Kong Bonanza is wonderful, but that's a pass the controller experience, and you're not gonna wanna pass the controller because it's so damn fun, right?
So good. I mean, we also gotta talk about Sonic Cross Worlds.
Yes.
Right? Incredible racing game. We were talking about it earlier today. My favorite game actually to play with my family was Cosmic Invasion. Marvel by
that is wonderful.
The team at .mu. This is a game, again, I was talking about earlier. I can't drop. It's such an easy game to pick up. It's
beautiful.
You know, even if someone's not into beat 'em ups, I feel like they just nailed it with the snappy
We're all into
gameplay.
Marvel for sure. In the polls, you guys chose Donkey Kong Bonanza, which is, it's such a beautiful work of art. So it's really easy to understand why that would be chosen.
Yeah.
But I think that in this category, and it's very specific to you and I, we played it together, but we also played it with our families, and that's a huge deal. And I witnessed firsthand the joy. Like, Ruby gave it a 10 out of 10. I gave it a 10 out of 10. You played it with your fiance, and you guys both loved it too. It's an incredible game.
I really don't know if there's a better experience this year to have been played with someone from your family or a friend, just because this is a game that's going to make you laugh, it's going to make you cry, and it's one that I feel like I'm going to remember for the rest of my life.
It's a beautiful experience. So congratulations to Split Fiction, congratulations to Haze Light, best family-friendly game of 2025. But now it's time to move over to our best indie category. And I'll tell you what, indies aren't such a small little group of games.
Not a small category
They're so
anymore.
vital and important in the video game industry. Let's take a look at our nominees. Hollow Knight Silk Song from Team Cherry. Hades 2 from Supergiant Games. Blue Prince from Raw Fury. Pipistrello and the Cursed Yo-Yo from PM Studios. Ball Pit from Devolver Digital.
Oh man, look at those incredible games. Blueprints, we talked about earlier, such a new inventive idea, new way to kind of experience a roguelike game. And Ball Pit, really cool title this year.
So accessible, so quirky, so hard to put down. Love that game. But also, of course, Hades 2 is a phenomenon. Absolute wonderful
I feel like
experience.
that's not an indie game, but I know it is. But it's just like the quality is all there.
I know, it's an incredible game. But Pipistrello and the Cursed Yo-Yo really blew me away. It's playing a modern day Game Boy Advance game with so much love and craft. Absolutely adore Pipistrello. But in the polls, I think you guys know who's taking this Best Indie Award. It is Hollow Knight Silk Song.
Oh, man.
You guys loved it. And you guys, we have to kind of agree with you. It's really, even in this very stacked category.
This is a tough one.
All of these bangers. we're giving it to Hollow Knight Silksong.
Congrats to Team Cherry. What a well-deserved award.
Absolutely. Now we're going to move on to the winner in the best puzzle category, and that is for Blueprints. It's already made a few appearances already in the show. It's very easy to predict. Such a marvelous concept, and it really is a brain tease, but it's also a game that you're thinking about when you're not playing it. You're trying to figure out exactly what rooms you should craft and build.
It's extremely addictive, too.
Yes.
For a game that's a little bit slower, where you're kind of investigating.
So
like
good.
you said, it's a game that you think about constantly, and you want to get back to, and hours just fly by playing this title.
I mean, I love Luminous Arise as well, but in the polls, you guys all agreed Blueprints should be the winner, and it is.
My pick for the most overlooked game of 2025 is an indie game from Skeleton Crew Studios called Four Strike. This is an awesome idea. It's a puzzle game masquerading as a beat 'em up, where you are literally choreographing the coolest martial arts fighting scenes, and you can do it as many times as you want, but then you gotta do it for real. And the stakes are super high. It's a roguelite with cool unlockables. It's got awesome pixel art. I really loved Four Strike.
Citizen Sleeper 2. I love the first game, but this sequel took it to a whole new level for me. The core dice rolling gameplay of the first game remains, but I thought it was such a good idea in Citizen Sleeper 2 to have situations where you take your crew on some really high stakes jobs. Kind of reminded me of the Mass Effect series in a way. But overall, the game has some of the best world building, writing, and music I experienced in a game this year.
Split Fiction was, for the beginning of 2025, because it ended up kind of landing early in that year, was the technical marvel. The fact that they've gotten co-op gameplay to be as tight and as concise while also building on this deep layered story while bringing some of the coolest level design that I've seen in a very long time. It really did deserve more love than it got.
You gotta play baby steps. You have to play baby steps. Now, I have to say, my aversion to playing this game was probably much like a lot of people's. It's an ugly game. It's a frustrating game. You really have to immerse yourself. You're not gonna wanna stop lumbering your big fat ass up that mountain, stumbling, tripping, making a fool out of yourself. Those of you who have played it know exactly what I'm talking about. And those of you who haven't probably won't listen to me. That's okay. I can live with that. I am in an elite group of baby steps appreciators.
The most overlooked video game of 2025, Shinobi Art of Vengeance got its praise and its flowers from everybody who played it. But I feel like things like Ninja Gaiden Ragebound coming out in the same launch window and having a proper North American physical release, Joe Musashi's 2025 outing just got kind of overlooked. I feel like 2D action, few do it better than Lizard Cube, so please kick Shinobi Art of Vengeance to the top of your backlog. Go Ninja Go.
Doom the Dark Ages. I just love this game. This is essentially a bloody Captain America simulator with a Doomslayer using his mighty shield to just bust up through multiple enemies. It's incredibly fun and visceral. I know it doesn't play like 2016 and Eternal, but this is some of the most fun I've had with the game the entire year.
The title for that belongs to Octopath Traveler 0. The game came out in December, and a lot of December games always get overlooked for these award shows. It is an awesome turn-based JRPG. If you played Octopath Traveler 1 and 2, I urge you to play this one since they go in a different direction. They focus on one main protagonist, but you are able to gather about 36 companions that you can control in a party of 8 at a time, which is a series first. So, the battle mechanics, strategy, voice acting, the villains, story's great. Just play the game. You won't be sorry.
Power Wash Simulator 2. It really did not get its moment under the spotlight because 2025 was a strong year, but if you're looking for a cathartic, relaxing, vibey game, there is nothing better than getting out your hose and just power washing the side of a house. Some of the places this game takes you, some of the level design is so unique. Getting in there and getting the nitty-gritty and then having that dopamine hit when you hear that you've completed an aspect of the map. You see the money go up and then you're unlocking new and different hoses and nozzles, and it's just such a satisfying loop. It's low stakes, it's vibey, and it is something that you can just relax to.
Rematch. Rematch is a game that came and went a little bit. It's from the same developers of Sifu, but they took their talents and made a soccer game, and I think they did a really great job. It's a game with a fantastic art style, great gameplay, and it's a game that I probably had the most fun playing in 2025, whether it was with friends, whether it was just hopping online for a match and having a good time. I absolutely adored Rematch and thought it was definitely overlooked.
Overlooked games? I mean, this one, it got its flowers, but I feel like not enough people talked about how good Doom the Dark Ages was. This is as video game as a video game could be. It's heavy metal as hell. I love every little bit of it.
Heroes of Mount Dragon. 4-player beat 'em up. Reminds me of Dungeons and Dragons for the Saturn. Golden Axe. Pretty deep combat system as you continue to play each stage. You could easily see some influence from Thundercats in terms of like character designs. Sleeper beat 'em up. Highly recommend playing with friends.
The most overlooked for 2025 was Sonic Cross Worlds. Even at the Game Awards, dog, they gave Mario Kart World the nod over Sonic. Are you serious right now? Sonic Cross Worlds is better than Mario Kart World. And I know Mario Kart is Mario Kart. You know, we love it, it's crazy, it's dope. But it ain't no Sonic Cross Worlds.
Terminator 2D No Fate, which I've hardly heard about outside of EPN circles and suffered multiple delays, but features retro vibes faithful to the film, tight controls, surprising difficulty, and replay value that has me saying, I'll be back.
One of the games that I think was overlooked in 2025 was Luminous Arise. Came out a little later in 25. It's made by Mizuguchi and one of the most famous Japanese developers ever. Nothing but respect for him and his whole team over there. It is that game that just sucks you in and immerses you so deeply. It makes you feel good. It makes you feel connected. It has this wonderful synesthetic effect where it just peels and hits on all your senses. You play that game and you get into a trance, and it's very, very magical and a wonderful game to play.
You need to stop what you're doing and play Chronos: The New Dawn. I played it last year and I love it. It just asks so many cool questions. Am I the good guy? Am I the bad guy? Whose side am I even on? What happened in this world? The homage to Dead Space, to Resident Evil, to The Evil Within, the survival horror games, the DNA is here. It stands right next to them. It is worth your time. Bloober Team did an absolutely spectacular job with this one, and I just think you guys should play Chronos: The New Dawn.
The Rocket Rayguns will be right back.
Now you're in the big leagues. 30 times in a row? I didn't expect this when I bought Mortal Kombat 2 from PNP Games. You thirsty? Uh-huh. Get over here!
Welcome back to the Rocket and Raygun Awards. Let's get to our next Rocket and Raygun because this is another brand new category. Yep.
Here are the nominees for 2025's Best Buried Treasure. Chronos: The New Dawn from Bloober Team. Hell Is Us from Nacon. Eartheon from Limited Run Games. Lego Voyagers from Annapurna Interactive. The Altars from 11-Bit Studios. All right, now this is a really complicated one, and you're going to see that in the polls in a second here, but all 5 of these games are phenomenal titles that have been overlooked. They're in that, 7.5 to 8.5 kind of score range out of 10.
Which isn't a bad score, Vic.
Not at all.
We're just critics.
Great games. Chronos is so much fun. It's definitely like a Dead Space meets Resident Evil kind of homage. Yeah. Hell Is Us incorporates a lot of this. Yeah, it's a beautiful design. It incorporates some of the roguelike kind of elements, but it's like a creepy environment and lots of interesting bosses and creatures that you get to fight in this gorgeous game. And then, of course, there's Eartheon from Yuzo Koshiro, which is a Genesis game that you can play right now on the computers. I think it's going to eventually come to cartridges. So cool. And it's a space shooter so ridiculously tuned and wonderful. And then also Lego Voyagers, which was very much overshadowed by Split Fiction, but it's a co-op experience, which is a ton of fun. In the polls, you guys chose Chronos as your winner.
I know this was a lot of people's game of the year.
It's a great game.
It's a great game.
Yeah, it's
you know?
really, really spooky.
Maybe
very
not
cool.
for everyone. Like I'm a little scared to play a lot of these titles, but this is one that I always hear about.
I loved it. I thought it was really a fantastic experience from Bloober Team. They're doing such killer work out there right now. But I still didn't like that more than Dead Space, which I think was always sort of hanging in the back of my mind. But the game that we were really impressed by, and as our Rocket Raygun Award winner, is The Alters from 11-bit, and this is such a quirky idea. You're on a hostile planet, you have to clone yourself, and you have to survive using the resources that you can sort of continue to find with the help of yourself. And it's just a surreal mind trip of a game. Beautiful visuals, great acting, great story, super cool title. Congrats to The Alters.
Excellent stuff, Vic. Our next category is yet another new one, and it's a great fit because today's games are gorgeous.
Here are the nominees for 2025's Best Art Direction. Metroid Prime 4 Beyond from Nintendo. Ghost of Yotei from Sony Interactive Entertainment. Claire Obscure Expedition 33 from Kepler Interactive. Shinobi Art of Vengeance from Sega. Death Stranding 2 On the Beach from Sony Interactive Entertainment. Can you believe the quality of the visuals of these games? Metroid Prime 4 Beyond, I know there's a lot of detraction out there, a lot of people that are a little bit down on it, but damn, it was beautiful. Yeah. What a gorgeous experience. Lots of haunting environmental things, and even the humans in this game, which I know bug people, they look pretty good. You know, I was really impressed by the quality of the visuals of Metroid Prime 4 Beyond. Also, Ghost of Yotei is like Sucker Punch showing off. Yeah. I mean, it was so freaking gorgeous. You know, obviously lifting on all of what they had learned on the previous game, but still, this is breathtaking work.
I cannot talk in this category without bringing up Shinobi Art of Vengeance.
Yes.
What an incredibly beautiful, hand-drawn, slick-looking game. So many frames of animation. This is one of those games that you can show to anyone who's never even seen a video game before, and they'll be like, wow, this is a work of art.
It's gorgeous.
One title that blew me away this year. Utilizing the Decima engine, Death Stranding 2. I feel like Kojima's just showing off at this point. This is one of the best. I think this is one of the greatest looking PS5 games. Even on a base PS5, if you don't have the Pro, this game just screams style.
It's so clean, and all of the attention to detail on the machinery and all the environmental stuff, absolutely breathtaking work there. But in terms of art direction, in the polls, you guys rightly chose Claire Obscure Expedition 33 as the winner here. Obviously, it's going to be the Rocket Raygun winner because it's such a painterly design. It's so obviously talking about admiring art, admiring the beauty that exists in the world, and also how that can kind of turn on you as well. There's an ugly side sometimes to the beauty that we see out there. But man, this is a gorgeous game that really helped to define 2025. And I don't think we would have paid as much attention to this game if it didn't look as beautiful as it does. You know, gameplay is fantastic, but man, this is a gorgeous game. So congrats to Claire Obscure Expedition 33, Best Art Direction in 2025. But you know what? It's time to hear from EPN's friends out there one more time about their picks for the Game of the Year.
I'm gonna go and say Ghost of Yotei. Ghost of Yotei was so crazy, and surprisingly, it was better than Ghost of Tsushima, son. It was better than Ghost of Tsushima. The combat, how big and open the world was, the flow of it, the lo-fi music that you could play the game to, like, it was so many elements of the game, but the story and the way you could go back and see certain things in your father's forge, and yo, Ghost of Yotei? That joint is sick.
If you know me, you know I love Japan, okay? And when I go to Japan, typically I would go to Tokyo to hang out, and then I would go up to Hokkaido. And where I would stay in Hokkaido, my friend John's house, his guest room, has a beautiful window. And when you look out that window, you see Mount Yotei. So that leads me to my best game of the year, Ghost of Yotei. I mean, come on. Getting to explore, see the little cities and rivers and things that I know of, places that I've been to. I've seen the mountain. I haven't any desire to climb it, but I've definitely seen the mountain before. Coming off of Ghost of Tsushima, I thought Ghost of Yotei was much simpler to play. It was fun to get into. I platinumed it. I don't platinum many games. I don't have time. Okay, with 2 kids, I don't have the time. But I went through and I platinumed that game because I loved exploring what Sucker Punch created, and I just think it's a phenomenal experience.
I was gonna go with Metroid Prime 4, Donkey Kong Bonanza, but I couldn't do it. So I had to go with Indie Baby. Played it on the PS5 in 2025, so that counts. So my game of the year, Indiana Jones, baby.
Shinobi, Art of Vengeance. This game by Lizard Cube, just like Streets of Rage 4 before it, is amazing. Shinobi Art of Vengeance is the best in the series. It is modernized. It has an awesome combo system, a great skill tree upgrade system. The way you use the magic is the art style, the graphics, the story. It blows away any Shinobi that's come before it.
Ghost of Yotei. And this is a sequel to Ghost of Tsushima, which was one of my favorite games of 2020 as well, too. The combat in that game is phenomenal, and I am so glad they continued the trend in this game. It is probably the best combat I've played in any game ever. I mean, I'll say it right now. Probably even better than the Batman Arkham games. I know them's fighting words, I'm sure. But I love the combat in this game. I love the vistas, the scenery, everything. The music that goes with it as well, too. So beautiful. Plus the game and the gameplay and the storytelling. It's just everything about it is just well done. It is superb. Love this game so much, and it is my pick for 2025's Game of the Year, Ghost of Yotei.
My answer is Blueprints. Blueprints was an awesome game. That's another game that felt very fresh, very new. I love a puzzle game, and I think Blueprints is the first a puzzle game has gotten me that addicted in a very long time. I think adding in the roguelike structure to it really made something that felt worthwhile to dive into and get super invested in for about 50 hours. And I know people played that game for over 100 hours. It's the never-ending gobstopper of a video game, and I absolutely adored it.
Mega Bonk. It really scratches an itch that no other game does. I love the animations and the sounds that it makes whenever you unlock chests and get loot. There's just something about it. If it was co-op, it would be the perfect game. It's somehow just really drilled down and satisfies something in me as like a Diablo player, an RPG player that I just didn't know I was missing.
Blueprints. It's a roguelike, it's a mystery game, it's an adventure, it's a narrative storytelling game, an experience that emphasizes player agency unlike anything I played. Without even knowing what it was until about 2 weeks before its release, I sunk 100 hours into it, delving into every little secret I could find, conspiring with friends in my DMs and on Discord, and just trying to eke out every moment of storytelling in a way that felt so authentic and so impossible to put down. It inspired me to think on the fly and realize that the goal of a run wasn't to reach room 46, it was to gather knowledge, to understand what was happening better. And 100 hours later, I was blown away.
My favorite game of 2025 is probably my favorite game of the entire generation, and of course it's Clair Obscur Expedition 33.
It's Clair Obscur Expedition 33.
Has to be Clair Obscur Expedition 33.
Expedition 33.
Clair Obscur was my favorite game in 2025. Expedition 33.
A game that probably a lot of people have not heard about, Clair Obscur Expedition 33.
Everything that Sandfall did in that game raised the bar for the medium.
It did live up to the hype. This is a game that's very unique. I've never played anything quite like it before.
Clair Obscur Expedition 33.
Clair Obscur Expedition 33.
When I'm listening to the music, I could remember some of the cutscenes from the game. Everything in this game is top-notch, from the voice acting, character development. Combat system is so deep that it took me off guard. I didn't even know that so much strategy was involved. The music, oh my god, the music is just, it puts you in the game.
I wouldn't be surprised if they even announce a concert tour for this game, because the music is truly beautiful and it goes so well with the game.
I really resonated with the soundtrack. I love the gameplay. I really love the characters, and everything kind of came together at the perfect opportunity to just deliver such a memorable experience.
This is the best prologue of a game since probably The Last of Us. The best first 10-15 minutes of a game since 2013.
I mean, this is the obvious answer, and I feel like this is the answer that a lot of people are going to give Expedition 33. It is a masterpiece. It is genuinely one of the best games ever made.
I think one of the most exciting things, though, is the fact that we're seeing so many indie games being represented now on Game of the Year lists, and I think that is something moving forward the industry should take note of, is these games that are made with love by these small studios that are making games that they want, not games that are mandated by shareholders. That's the future of gaming, and I think that's a sustainable future.
It's Claire Obscure, Exhibition 33. It's gotten so much praise, people were actually getting mad at how many accolades it was getting this year. But I have to say, this game is just something special. If you're a fan of the art of gaming in general, I give it my highest recommendation.
I've played a lot of games in my life, but Claire Obscure might just be my top 10 favorite games of all time. And if this isn't a glowing endorsement, I don't even know what is.
This is one of those games which I'll remember for years to come, and I would recommend this game to everybody because I cannot wait to see them cry. I know it's a little odd to say that.
I think the best video game of 2025 really is Claire Obscure Expedition 33, but everybody's talking about that game, so I'm gonna say Ball X Pit instead. Because man, I don't know if I had more fun playing anything this year than Ball X Pit. Just pure chaos that actually makes sense when you're playing it. It is intensely fun, giving you all kinds of wonderful feedback. A game I could dip in and dip out of, and it always brought me joy. Tons to discover, tons to unlock, tons of new ways to play it. Ball X Pit, almost my favorite game of 2025.
Some incredible picks there from the viewers, but we'll be right back with our Game of the Year.
Welcome back to the Rocket Raygun Awards. It's time for us to give out an award for Best Music in 2025, another new addition to the awards this year. And in the polls you guys all chose, look at that. It's Claire Obscure Expedition 33. Like nobody else. Yeah, it's well deserved. Yeah. It's absolutely incredible. I have to say, I was really, really blown away by the music in Arc Raiders.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
It was actually really good. I'm glad you brought that one up.
I love the music in Arc Raiders. I listen to that soundtrack all the time.
I want to give a shout out to Woodkid, who did the soundtrack for Death Stranding 2 as well. That was an incredible one. I actually have that on my Spotify playlist to this day.
It's amazing, yeah. So there was great competition here, but in the end, you cannot refute the music. You know what it is? It's that collision of all of these different artistic disciplines in Claire Obscure Expedition 33. It's undeniable. It's just so magnificent what they achieved, and it is our Rocket Raygun Award winner for Best Music in 2025.
We knew that Expedition 33 was going to crush the awards this year, but let's move on to yet another new category.
Here are the nominees for Best 2D Game of the Year. Terminator 2D No Fate from Reef Entertainment. Shinobi Art of Vengeance from Sega. Ninja Gaiden Ragebound from .emu. Hollow Knight Silksong from Team Cherry. Absolem from .emu. Now, we had to do this category this year. 2025 was just loaded with fantastic 2D experiences. And in the polls, you guys actually chose Silksong as your favorite of all of these 2D games. But man, I gotta give it up for Shinobi Art of Vengeance and Ninja Gaiden Ragebound.
Can't believe we got both those games in 1 year.
And we got 3 great Ninja Gaiden games in 1 year. But yes, both of these 2D games are so freaking phenomenal.
Yeah, and we can never, talk about this category without bringing up Absolem, right? That team at .mu is so talented, just like the mix between a roguelike and a brawler.
Beautiful
Such a
game.
memorable game. And we've loved this year. We've brought it up before. Terminator 2D No Fate. this is probably the greatest Terminator game we've ever had, and it's a 2D title.
I think it is the best Terminator game. It is, and I want Bitmap Bureau to keep going with this franchise. But you know what? You guys were right. In the poll, the Rocket Raygun Award winner for Best 2D Game of 2025 is Hollow Knight Silksong. It's, again, an irrefutable game.
How can you deny this game?
It's so hard, and so maybe not all of us are going to see all of it. Like me, but it's so...
You could do it, Vic.
But it's so freaking hypnotic and beautiful and tight. Like, the controls are perfection. This is a wonderful, wonderful game.
Kudos to Team Cherry. Well-deserved award.
Big time, big time. All right, you guys, it is time for our Game of the Year for 2025. Here are the nominees for Game of the Year. Death Stranding 2 On the Beach from Sony Interactive Entertainment. Shinobi Art of Vengeance from Sega. Donkey Kong Bonanza from Nintendo. Hollow Knight Silksong from Team Cherry. Claire Obscure Expedition 33 from Kepler Interactive. Split Fiction from Electronic Arts.
Let's kick it off with what the viewer polls have to say, but it's not even close, Vic.
No.
The viewers voted with over 47% of the votes going to Claire Obscure Expedition 33.
Kind of predicted this one, didn't we? Yes, I know. You know, this was an interesting one for me because I didn't quite know for sure that I was going to go to Claire Obscure. I was really torn between Donkey Kong Bonanza, Split Fiction, and Claire Obscure Expedition 33. I love Split Fiction so much.
I would add Death Stranding to that category,
Death Stranding's
too.
amazing as well. Yeah,
this was a tough year, Vic.
It really
don't blame yourself.
It really was. But when I really sat down to think about it, I thought that Claire Obscure is what people will remember 2025 gaming around. You know, that's going to be the first game that everybody props up and says this was a great year for games, and it really was. Lots of stiff competition in here, but honestly, huge congrats to the Sandfall team on this remarkable game. Game of the Year for the Rocket Raygun Awards is Claire Obscure Expedition 33. So congratulations to Sandfall and the Claire Obscure Expedition 33 team. Wonderful, wonderful experience. And we did it, my friend.
Oh, we're done. Another year in the bag.
We finished a Rocket Raygun Award. Thank you all so much for watching this show, and thank you to everybody that contributed videos. Also, a huge and special thank you to Capital City Arcade here in the Vancouver area.
Incredible.
If you ever make it out this way to our, Vancouver or New Westminster,
it's a must-stop. Yeah. This is like a destination you can't miss if you're in Vancouver.
That's right. Put it on your map and make sure you come here. Also, huge thanks to our partners and sponsors at PNP Games. You guys rock. Thank you so much for hitting that subscribe button and following along as we continue covering all of this stuff. Bear, thank you so much for doing this with me.
It's an honor.
Clink it up. Yes. We will see you soon, you guys. Thanks for watching. And until we do see you, play forever.
Beautiful. Like if I joined you.
Yeah, man. That was great.